stuck in the matrix. Two-tone cool, drive that bitch like a spaceship. Keep me some baddies and none of them basic. No, I'm not greedy, but I'm not complacent. Glock in my pocket, the Rockies adjacent. You not my equal, so we are not racing. Flash off the rack, she your bitch, now she taking. She fucking with me, cause I make it feel safer. These niggas mad, cause I went got my checkup. Green falling down, better watch where you step up. Then when you see me, little nigga get stepped on. Check my credentials, motherfucker, I'm big dog. I flex a muscle and I get you picked off. Niggas ain't tough, but they stay tryna look hard. I got 3 killers and I call them Simmons. Yeah. RP, GG, recipes, Wingfoot, and my nigga AZ. Can't forget Pop Out, that was like my OG. RP, Weezy, got it off the back street. RP, Frenchie, RP, Kobe, RP, GG, RP, Mac, RP, left hand, RP, CC, RP, Ski, and RP, Crack. Yeah.
I pop the perk, now I'm in the matrix.
Niggas be talking, I'm always the topic, I laugh a lot. Racks in my pockets, you know I can't stop it, I trap a lot. Big rocks in my chopper, don't make me show out and start blacking out. We said we don't samba so many times, they say it backwards now. Don't pay me no mind, we gon' get them gone like we do magic now. Just keep those shits coming till I KO, it ain't no tapping out. We gon' tap his head, he keep on acting out. Make sure they tie your dreads, I swear this shit deeper than rapping now.
Niggas is funny, I guess it's monkey shit.
Free niggas, so you gotta pay me attention. White bitch paying me. No, sir, they not pimping. I'm in it big with the pack. Out my nigga, we scrap. Beat a little bitch and she tap. I gotta get the racks. In these streets, can't ask. Pride too motherfucking big. I smoke a nigga like a cig. Shells jumping out the chopper like I'm flipping the cig. Damn, my niggas lit. Oh, we in this bitch. Spend it lonely, nigga. Gang, we get it back. Mo got my back.
Alright, y'all, we about to get back into this. So, we back here, we here to talk about Kyrie Irving and his controversial tweet.
This is your topic, so go ahead and take the main spot and explain. You can raise it.
Yeah, I gotta raise it.
I want you to go ahead and explain the situation.
So we're gonna talk about this Kyrie Irving situation. You know, I'm Suave Vicente. What's up? So apparently, he decides to send out a tweet supporting an anti-Semitic movie made by a black director, I think.
Nigga, what?
And so, you know, he's playing for the Brooklyn Nets in New York City, one of the largest populations of Jewish people. And so they didn't like it. So the Nets were like, okay, apologize. He wouldn't apologize, so they suspended him for 5 games. And he had a list of stuff he had to do to get reinstated back into play the games. And so when he apologized, he skirted around the apology and said, here you go, take it, whatever. The Nets were like, nah, I need some more from you. So he finally does everything on the list, and now he's back to playing. But how do y'all feel about that?
My first thing is, what do they want him to apologize for? Because
he sent out a tweet with anti-Semitic.
So what did he say about the tweet? Nothing.
He just... But you also gotta think, it's an anti-Semitic movie. Like, come on now. There's Jewish people.
Look, I said...
But it was okay to make movies about...
But that has nothing to do with the Nets organization.
Neither does that tweet.
Actually, if you play for the team, you're like part of that organization.
It's all in the contract.
Correct, that you signed.
Okay. First and foremost. Okay, I just want to say that. You have to understand that regardless, you know, it just goes back to what we were saying. You have to understand that you have every right to exercise your freedom of speech. Okay? Use it to the fullest, say whatever you want.
I
But
agree.
You have to understand that depending on what it is, there
There's
are
consequences.
negative consequences, like,
Yeah.
you know, jail time, depending on what you're lying about. But in general, and just general conversation, you have the freedom to say whatever you want to say and to speak however you feel, but none of the rest of the world has to agree with
I
it.
mean, we've seen this
And-
once before with Colin Kaepernick. It's the same thing.
That and
One
that's what I'm
takes to
saying.
me.
I said,
it's no.
I said the same thing.
Like I think, do y'all?
Regardless of how you personally feel, you have to understand that number one, when you are part of
represent a brand.
big brand or a big corporation, looks matter. So first and foremost, the first time you do something or you say an unpopular opinion out loud, especially one
It reflects on the company.
It does reflect on the company because you play for them.
But I
And
will
then-
say this: I respect Kyrie.
You could respect
for what he's
him.
doing because, okay, what he posted. How do you feel about what he posted? Now that's the question.
I can't tell you because I haven't seen it. All I'm saying is, regardless of what he posted, if that's how he feels and that's what he believes, he has every right to say it.
Yeah,
You
like-
cannot be upset that there was backlash. Just because you have the right to say it does not mean everyone has to.
And
like
I don't
it or
think
agree
he's
with it.
upset, and that's why I think his original apology was.
I'm
what
pretty
it
sure he was upset when them checks stopped coming.
Yeah, but I also think I feel his point behind his tweet was to open people's eyes.
What? Again, I don't
Now
know.
you have,
Because
I didn't read too deep into the tweet, so
to me, it's like I just equate the situation to let a white person tweet some crazy ass racist shit about black people, and everybody's gonna be up in arms about that person never seeing the damn basketball court again. Okay. Now, and I'm gonna say the same thing. It's his right to say that, and it's everyone else's right not to like it and agree with it. And whatever consequences come from that, you have to understand your words are received however the person hearing them receives them. And if they choose to negatively react, then you have to understand it just comes with speaking your mind out loud. Okay, not everything that you think and feel and see and needs to be put into words that other people can hear. There are some things that need to stay in your head. And if you feel strongly enough to have to post it out loud, understand that there are consequences that comes with that. And you cannot be upset when those consequences land in your lap.
and fuck with your
I
bag.
mean, just because you have the right to say it does not mean people have to like it or agree with it. And in most cases, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be because you did say something upsetting. That's why I said to me it depends, because I've seen things people have said and people have gotten backlash. I'm like, dude, it's not even that big of a deal. Y'all are really just like tripping right now. And I've seen other things where I've been, I cannot believe this person really just put this for the world to see. So for me, it depends on what you said, and even still, say what you
but
want.
the link was a movie link. Like I said, it's a anti-Semitic movie made by a black man.
That's
that-
why I said for me it depends on the post, because I haven't seen the
It's
post.
like it's a link to a movie, but he didn't make no comment about it. He just posted a link to a movie. The movie's out there for the world to see if they wanted to see it. That's just like you seen a movie, you seen a documentary on Netflix that gave you knowledge about where you come from and what you've been through, that brings you to what life is for you as a person, and you feel like there's people out there like you that need to know this, or that might want to see this, and you just post a link to the movie. You don't say, hey, go watch this movie, it's gonna make you like these people or not like these people.
So-
more.
It all boils down to back to what they interpret as hate.
Look, for me, it's like this. I'm going to tell you right now, when we have these types of discussions, I remove myself from the equation, because I'm going to tell you right now that I do not react the way that most people react to most things. So from the get-go, I remove myself from the situation because I 9 times out of 10 do not agree with whatever the situation is.
I just think the world is so sensitive, and everybody needs to desensitize a little bit.
And I mean, I give you that. I feel like there's a lot wrong. There's a lot wrong with the world. But that's why I said it depends, because I'm gonna break it down like this. The reasons why most people are upset. Again, I haven't seen the tweet, so I don't really know for myself what I would interpret it as because I haven't seen it. If you have a friend that's raving about something that you know, and when you put the fact that he is, you know, he had his face is associated with a major brand.
But that's the crazy thing. They come out with movies about black slaves. There's movies where you got about Hitler and the Jews.
You gotta think about it.
But
We
then-
don't go hard for. We don't.
Then you got somebody who posted a movie made by a black man about antiseptic, same things,
Cause they go hard for their shit.
and that's
Well, either be upset at your fellow people of color for not getting upset, or look at the movie itself and see why so many of the people it's aimed, or you know, that are discussed in the movie.
say that shit again.
I said either be upset that your fellow people of color are not getting more upset with these things, or figure out why those same peers and friends and people around you agree with it. Because obviously if there's no uproar, it means that either it's not enough people are upset, or it's not very well known, which if you feel that strongly, why don't you make it known? Or it's really not as offensive as you're trying to make it seem, because clearly most of the people it should be offending are not offended by it. And that just opens the door to the problem nowadays that other people are getting offended for other people. You know, somebody, for example, might walk in and make a Mexican joke, and someone who is not in any way, shape, form is Mexican will get upset for the Mexican people. And I feel like, you know, that happens a lot across the board for all sorts of things. I feel like
I
a lot
think
of
his
it is
message
like,
was made clear. The people that was that it was that like the people that movie was entitled to inspire or to get knowledge, they are the ones who are, you know, upset about the Nets doing what they did. But the people who the movie would offend, it did offend them. But those are the people with the money.
well, then you answered your own question about why there was an issue, because the people with the money
Facts.
are upset.
Oh yeah, for sure. He had to know that. Like, you got to understand, you represent a big brand, like the biggest market that's in the world, New York.
Which is
You
the
on
point of this
plantation, you gotta-
conversation. You're asking
You
why,
on the
know?
plantation, you gotta answer the master on that point.
Yup.
Sports is the new plantation.
Look, when you put your name on that line, you have to understand what comes
For
with
sure.
it. I mean, just because, you know, a company says you can wear whatever you want doesn't mean that if you turn around and start dressing a particular way that they're not going to say anything or risk, you know, you losing your job. Just because you can doesn't always mean you should. Trust me.
They know they need them, so they're not gonna cut them.
They would have it.
They would have. They would have.
I promise you.
And
the
nobody would've
money-
picked them up.
The money.
Oh, Kyrie would have got picked up.
No.
The money,
Sure.
the
No.
money will
Kyrie would've
always
got picked
win.
up for
The
sure.
money
Yep.
will always
Kyrie
win.
would have got picked up.
No.
For sure.
No.
Man, y'all crazy. Kyrie would have got picked up for sure.
No. Cause they don't want that
They
darkness.
don't want, that becomes a blotch.
Yeah.
That's a fucking cloud following him around.
He had to apologize. He living that lavish lifestyle. He gotta have.
The money
Oh
will
yeah,
always win.
he knew that was going like. I mean,
Well, that's why I'm saying. And that's my point. Because if you didn't feel strong enough to risk all of that and still stand behind your decision, then you should not have spoken it out loud.
He a dumb smart nigga.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, I will not say anything out loud that I don't 10 toes down stand behind. I don't care what the risk is. I don't care who I work for. There are just certain things that
and
I stand on.
I don't think he